WDEV News presents the regular monthly meeting of the Fentress County Commission. The Fentress County Commission meets the third Monday of each month, and you can see it live on Channel 12 cable TV. It's a presentation of the Union Bank of Jamestown and Clark Range, your reliable banking partner since 1904.
For more than a century, Union Bank has been serving the people of Fentress County. Now, as we begin a new chapter in our history of service, we want to take this opportunity to reassure you that while our building may be new, we're still the same friendly people you have known for years. Union Bank, the same people, the same goals, and the same commitment to you. Union Bank, your locally owned hometown bank for more than a century, growing to meet your needs. Equal Housing Lender Member FDIC.
Call this meeting to order. Let us please stand for the pledge of the flag by Commissioner Leon Stepp and opening prayer by Commissioner Lester Gooding.
Join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bow your heads, please. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Father, we thank you for the day. Thank you for blessing us with another day. I thank you most of all, Father, for your only begotten Son, our Lord and Savior. I thank you, Father, for everything, all the blessings that you send our way. And we come before your throne tonight, Father, to ask for your guidance and voting on whatever we need to vote on, and ask that it be pleasing to you. And I ask it all in Jesus' holy name. Amen.
Amen. We'd like to welcome everyone. Seems like it's been forever since we've been up here, but we appreciate the ones that were doing by telephone, and we've had some good meetings. They've been short meetings, but now we'll get back on to what we need to be doing. Ms. Brown, will you call the roll, please?
Mickey McDonald. Here. Jason Miller.
Here.
Rod Williams.
Here.
Kim Davison.
Here.
Benny Hughes.
Here.
Robert Cooper.
Here.
Lester Gooding.
Here.
Leon Stepp.
Here.
Larry Cooper.
Here.
Wade Matthews.
Here.
All present.
All present. Item number 5 is consideration of approval of the minutes from the May the 18th meeting. Has everyone got any changes you want to make, or has everyone had time to look at it? If so, we need a motion, please.
I move to accept, Ms. Prince.
Motion been made by Commissioner Leon Stepp to approve. Second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mickey McDonald. We have any discussion on it? Roll call, please.
Vicky. 4. Justin.
4.
Rod.
4.
Kim.
4.
Benny.
4.
Robert.
4.
Lester.
4.
Leon.
4.
Larry.
4.
Wade.
4.
10 for, none against.
Motion passes. Item number 6. We have, looks like 8 notaries. The first one is Keena D. Garrett, Stephen Walker, Troy Gammon, Gretchen Huff, Wilma Kimbrough McDonald, Bobby Doss, Christy Sewell, Marty Rexroth. Do I hear a motion on these notaries?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Justin Miller. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rod Williams. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Vicky. 4. Justin.
4.
Rod.
4.
Kim,
4.
Benny,
4.
Carver,
4.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Wade,
4.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against. Item number 7, consideration of approval of bid proposal for the Fentress County ADA project. You have all the paperwork in your folder, then of course you had it on electronic as of Friday, so if you want to address Mr. Hill, what he had to say, you want me to, Ms. Leslie? Okay. It says, as you're aware, the bids were received on Thursday, 11th for the ADA upgrade and courthouse finishing project. 3 bids were received for the ADA upgrade project and 2 bids received for the courthouse finishing project. The low bid for each project was that of G&S Home Improvements of Jamestown. Some discussion, some confusion regarding G&S response to alternate pricing. Following the bid, we contacted the State of Tennessee Contractors Licensing Board. And he has furnished a copy of that email with correspondence to Ms. Leslie Clark Ledbetter. We would defer to Ms. Ledbetter's advice, but our understanding is that the board would not require the project to be rebid on the basis and the confusion surrounding the alternate bids. Our recommendation is that the county accept the base bid only. Please keep in mind that on renovation projects such as this, there will be unforeseen issues. We highly recommend that Fentress County set aside some contingency funds to address issues that will arise during construction. Sincerely, Alan Hill, Principal Architect. Anything else, Ms. Leslie?
I know that sounds a little confusing, but in a nutshell, there were 3 bids apparently. One of the bids came in, on the bid specs, there was an alternate asking for a potential bid other than the bid package regarding a concrete pour that may or may not take place. I don't think it had been anything that had been budgeted for, but it was a potential. So it was hanging out there as an add-on. The low bidder for the bid package that has been budgeted and ready to roll did not bid on that add-on bid. Now, the question was for the contractor board, did that invalidate the entire bid? Because it didn't provide a bid for an add-on. Well, the add-on is just that, an add-on. And I think the consensus that the contractors board, Mr. Hill and myself came to was that if you all accept the bid for the project that you got, I'll say funding for, that you set aside money for, it cannot include the add-on or the additional potential project that you all had said, hey, tell us what it cost if you also did this portion of it. It doesn't invalidate the entire bid, but it does say that if you want to bid the concrete project, you need to bid that as a separate item with its own specs at a later time, and it cannot be voted on along with the large bid project here today. Is that simple?
So we just need to bid on or vote on the base
Just on
bid?
the base bid.
The base bid alone.
I make the motion to accept base bid from G&S Home Improvement.
The bids were FT&M contacting Incorporation and Cookville was $513,000. Base bid from Crane Construction, Knoxville, Tennessee was $412,598, and G&S Home Improvement, Jamestown, Tennessee was $287,276. Motion's been made to accept G&S Construction's bid, base bid by Mr. Robert Cooper. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kim Davison.
Question.
Quick. Do you mean discussion?
Or discussion?
Because you call for question, we vote right now.
Well, are we apples to apples on this bid?
You are. All three, well, everybody picked up one. There's like 5 or 6 bids picked up, and they were all in the same envelope.
Okay.
I mean, everything was exactly the same.
Except for the add-ons.
Except for the
Let's be clear, the add-ons.
Kind of like Rod, there's a lot of difference in the prices there. I know these other fields had to make money, but
They all bid on the same specs.
But the other two had put the add-on in this bid.
No, their base bid amount does not include the
That
add-on.
base
Those
is
two
the base.
slots right next to it, Rod, there, see, on the
Yeah.
side.
The amount Jimmy read off does not include the add-on, let's be very clear.
That's the base bid on it. There's no alternates on it.
The 513, you would add $39,000 to for those add-ons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So alternate number 1 is chairs. Alternate number 2 is a concrete ramp at Chamber of Commerce instead of a wood ramp. There's a wood ramp included in the base bid, which is included in all 3 base bids. The only thing that would change, we can't accept doing a concrete ramp at Chamber of Commerce unless we took one of the other 2 bids. So we can't take the lowest bid and do concrete too. Now, we can pull out and do a separate project of that later on if that comes to that, but alternate number 1 is chairs for the courtroom for the ADA. Now, these are all apples to apples. They are architect and engineered specs, so they're signed off on by the architects before they're paid. According to the architects, like that high bid there out of Cookville, those guys are covered up. They said that's more of a courtesy bid because they didn't even bid the second project. They just put in one bid. They said everybody's covered up right now. They think that they pretty well bid that just to say, hey, if we're going to do this, we're going to make money at it.
So, Tyler, with us not accepting that alternate 1, that still, we could buy chairs on our own separate from this bid, right? And search for the cheapest price, so that's not a bad thing.
So in his letter that Nate had wrote to us, that $1,100 was labor only, didn't include the cost of the chairs.
Okay.
Those chairs, we got written quotes on there, $60 a piece.
So we're going to be fine, just to probably pull that out and do that separate anyways. And then the concrete pad, like you said, if we want to do that ramp, we can just remove the wooden ramp from this original bid, not do that, and do it separate, just do it
They would have
separate.
to do a change order on the original project,
Okay.
pull that wood out, and we would have to set a new set of specs and a completely separate project for a concrete ramp over there.
But it still leaves that option on the table. I mean, it's not.
But it would have to be its own project. It can't be part of this ADA. You can't accept his with alternate 1 and 2
Right.
because he don't have a number 2 price. Okay. So technically, really, you just need to accept the base bid. We want to add that in. We can add that in at a later date.
On a separate project.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, not added into the ADA.
Right.
We would have to add it in on a separate project at a later date.
And the commission they can accept or reject any bid they want, so. And Alvin recommends to drop the other 2 and just go with the base bid. Any more discussion? Roll call?
Mickey?
For.
Justin?
For it.
Rod?
For it.
Kim? 4. Benny?
4.
Robert?
4.
Lester?
4.
Leon?
4.
Larry?
4.
Wade?
4.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against. Item number 8 is the consideration and approval of the ADA project application resolution 2020-14 to allow the county executive's office to apply for funds from the governor's support grant. So what that there is, y'all had to approve the bid, then you have to give me permission to apply to the state to get the funds for it that comes down in the governor's grants that he put forth when they were passing the budget.
I make a motion that we give you permission to do that.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Lester Gooding to give permission, second by Commissioner Robert Cooper. Any more discussion? Roll call vote.
Mickey? 4. Justin?
Forrest.
Ross?
For it.
Kim? 4. Benny?
4.
Robert?
4.
Lester?
4.
Leon?
4.
Larry?
4.
Wade?
4.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against. Item number 8 is bid proposals for the HVAC project at the Fentress County Courthouse. What we have now, the system we have now, she's been down there since 1968 or 70. You light it, biggest part of the time the floor will catch on fire. You know, where there's too many gas fumes and such around down there. So, parts are extinct. I mean, you have to practically get them made to do any work to it. And this is the opportunity to do something since this grant money is coming down from the state. And there's no matches on it whatsoever. So, these are the bids that were turned in. You had, I can't read these. Is it Elhart? Everhart Electric?
No, that's your sub. That's the subcontractor. That's their electrical subcontractor.
It's that middle row.
Action Heating.
Yeah.
Action Heating and Cooling, $287,730. Charles Stone Heating and Conditioning, $265,500. And CHC Mechanical out of Cookville is $285,987. So your base bid, your low bidder was Charles Stone Heating and Cooling out of Cookville at $265,500.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the low bid.
Base bid.
Second.
New alternates?
It's got two alternates.
We've got two alternates on that too.
Okay, the alternate number one was $2,650.
And that's a 10-year warranty, right?
It's
It's
spec 10-year warranty. Alternate number one is a performance bond. Basically, if the company we choose goes out of business or fails to finish the work, then that bond covers, and they have to hire somebody to come in and finish it without a cost to us, except for that $2,650 up front. Alternate number two is a 1-year maintenance contract, so it has 10-year parts and labor warranty. The alternate two maintenance contract is basically a year they come in. It's technically their system for a year. If there's any pumps go down, if there's filters need changed, they come and handle it. The way they explained it to us, if we wanted to come change the thermostat for us, we can call them and they have to come change the thermostat for us. So it's basically a year that everything's going to be sound on that, then we still have a 10-year parts and labor warranty on with that.
So it's basically been 50 years since the heating and cooling, anything's been done to it here in the courthouse.
This
Glad that
system,
we do alternate 1 and 2, as it's recommended here.
The same company was low bidder on all three though. We hear a motion.
You made the motion.
Benny
Benny.
made a motion.
Benny Hughes made a motion to accept the base bid with alternate one and alternate number two.
Mickey already seconded it.
And Mickey second. Any more discussion?
It would be good to point out that we were going to have to do these things one way or another. So by utilizing the money that the state has gave us, you know, this money's saving the taxpayers. We're not having to pay for it, come up and borrow the money and pay for it. That's why we're doing it the way we're doing it.
It's not coming out of the fund balance at all. None of this money, these monies are under non-matching, so.
And it's been ongoing for several years.
so also this system is, according to these guys, I don't know much about the electrical side of this and gas, but this is extremely efficient. This should save us monthly. It's not a gas system, it's an electric system. We're not gonna have the gas related to this. And the electric will actually be cheaper running this system. It's extremely efficient, and not everybody has to be on heat, not everybody has to be on air. I can have my office on heat, Tony can have her office on air. It's separate systems for each individual room, which I think anybody working here in the courthouse would be tickled to death.
I think the efficiency they checked was like 37 or 38% is what the efficiency was now. And this is gonna be up in the 90s, Robert, maybe?
Somewhere around 98%, 97, 98%.
Any more discussion?
When are they supposed to start on this?
As soon as we give them those, I mean,
So we
basically,
get it passed and get back from the state that they okayed it and all. And there's not no funds as of,
Has to be completed by October 31st.
as of last week, there was, the funds start coming down in July, hopefully. So,
Has to be completed by October of this year.
October, yeah. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mickey? 4. Justin?
For it.
Ron?
For it.
Kim?
4.
Benny?
4.
Robert?
4.
Lester?
4.
Leon?
4.
Larry?
4.
Wade?
4.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against. Item number 10, consideration of approval of the Courthouse HVAC project application and resolution 2020-15 to allow the county executive's office to apply for funds from the governor's support grant.
Make a motion to give you permission to apply.
Motion's been made to give us permission to apply by Commissioner Lester Gooding. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Justin Miller. Any more discussion?
Jimmy, I think for the benefit of the people who don't know what the governor's support grant is, maybe you can give a little bit of background as to what it can be used for in these applications. It's not something that we can just go out and do anything we want with. It is for specific targeted projects.
The governor first presented a bill that would give different counties, according to their population, different amount of money. The county, Fentress County, was allocated $261,000. Summers in that ballpark to start with. I have all the figures downstairs. And then they came back and they doubled it, so it can give us 560, 520, whatever that would be. When they passed that, when they passed the budget, when the Senate and the legislature passed the budget in March, the next day they came back and they give your distressed counties $500,000. So they have actually given us $1,063,000 is what they've given us. There's no matches to it, but you spend it on capital projects such as what we're doing here. You can spend it, you can allocate so much of it to highways, you can allocate so much of it to IT equipment, you can allocate so much of it into your ADA. That's where we come up with the ADA money to do this, because we were going to spend all this money out of the fund balance, but we're going to do it out of this right here. Then you can get into your very little for COVID, but it comes back, you can do that also in your emergency systems. So we're going to do some work with the ambulance, with the sheriff's department. And I think that they're just about basically covers it, I'm thinking. Because we're going to allocate so much money to the highways, hopefully. It'll come up in the next little bit to y'all. And hopefully they will find a grant that will, they can use the money that we allocate them, they can actually use it as a percentage. If they got a $500,000 grant and they needed 10% of that, you know, we'd be allocating $50,000. But that $50,000 would turn into $500,000, wouldn't it, Joy, on that right there? So we want to do that. And then, of course, like we said, there's a few different things, but as far as when you get into your parks and such, you can't do nothing in your ballparks, walking ways, and that type of stuff. You can't do any reoccurring payroll line items. You can't do anything there. So, but it's really good. It's very helpful. Like I said, this is money that the commission on projects that they had wanted to do and planned to do, and just so happened that this came down and they got it before they adjourned. So we're just one of the lucky ones. I think there was 14 counties that got the extra $500,000. So but it was based on the population of your county. And then they gave so much to the cities also. So it's all going to good usage. And like I said, there's no match on this whatsoever. So, but that's where we're at on that. We need a roll call vote.
Mickey,
4.
Justin,
For it.
Ron,
For it.
Kim,
4.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
4.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Wade,
4.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against. Item number 11. Consideration of approval of bid proposals for the finishing project at the Fentress County Courthouse. What this right here, this here includes flooring and walls in your meeting rooms, and all your hallways. And this is, was bid out, and the bids were open. You had 2 bids on this. One was GNS Home Improvement from Jamestown with $131,494. And Preem Construction out of Knoxville was $148,199. They also had an alternate one. Preem bid on it. GNS didn't bid on it. So it's like the case was a while ago. Alan, with the contractors licensing the state, what he got from them was to just take the base bid and redo the other one later, bring it back up to a bid some other time.
Is this what we agreed to hold off on when we had our grant committee meeting? The remodeling project until we saw what was going on and if there was, we could use that money somewhere else? Or needed that money somewhere else?
But it possibly could have been. We discussed a lot of things that day.
I think these were bid together because of your ADA includes some in here. So they were bid together, so hopefully that the ADA and the construction person that's doing the remodeling would get the same bid. So you would only have one contractor doing the work.
And if the ADA, if they was doing something, and as far as the floors or this part up here or whatever, and it comes out, this is under ADA also, and then you have your courthouse, you have it finishing, then it's like whenever they take this bottom out right here, when they take the bottom out, you're gonna have about this much left up here. And so this is all coming out with ADA compliance, to make it ADA compliance up here for future commissioners, future county executives or whatever. It'll be ADA compliance for all that. Just like the benches being replaced with the ADA with chairs, so that'll conform to the ADA, which Mr. Hill, that was his recommendation on all this. So it was all bid out, and that way nobody will be in each other's way. Because they can, what will happen while they're probably doing the air conditioning, the ADA projects on the outside will be going on until bad weather. They get that taken care of, and then they'll move inside and start doing stuff in here.
Where are we at on what the estimates was that we had to begin with? Are we?
We're less.
Yeah, we're
A lot
quite
less.
Yeah, we're less about, yeah. Well, I
Yeah, in
can
your grant committee, I think you allowed $350 for the HVAC is what we had budgeted for that in the grant committee. So it came in at $250. So I think you're under what you discussed in the grant committee room that evening.
we was expecting somewhere around 700 or 725, and we're right now with, if this passes, we'll be at 674, 270, and so out there we'll leave 388 or 230.
What was we projected it at to begin with, all of them combined?
Around 7 to 725 on everything.
I think this one came in way higher than what we thought though, right?
I think we did 125 on this, what we had estimated it at.
This
Come in
came,
just a little higher, yeah.
and your HVAC came in quite a bit lower. Some people had said HVAC would be $400,000. 350 or 300, and it come in 265.
So is that gonna leave any money for the highway department?
Yeah, we got 388,023, 388,023 left.
That's not been allocated.
It's not been allocated. That's what I said a moment ago. We, talking to Joey and Miss Barbara told me we would allocate them, you know, some money to, they could use it, just say we give them $75,000 or 50 or 100 or 25 or whatever. That there would go with, well, if they could come up with a bid, and there's some grants coming down there, Joey, what are they? Barb was telling me about them. You remember?
We got one on some machinery.
No, this has to be for highways and bridges. It has to be used for already established highways and bridges. This does. Flat, that's what it was. She was wanting to say, and I told her, I said, well, you could use this money. You know, if it was $75,000, you could use this on a $500,000 grant or something like that. Because you can use this for money instead of coming up with your own money. It can be used for grant purposes.
So this could actually be used then, this governor's grant could be used to work on some roads that need work on.
Yeah, as soon as they get the grant in, it'd be better to, instead of using $50,000 or $75,000 for something, it'd be better to use it to help get a grant of $50,000 to $500,000 or something. I think that's what the intentions will be on it, Joy, to get something bigger. Yeah. It has to be, this has to be, it comes out, you have to have everything in by April of 21. It has to be allocated by 22, and it has to be spent, but what is not allocated, what is not asked for, it goes back into the pool.
So you're saying when they take this out with the ADA,
Yep.
then the wall covering won't be fixed?
No, see, it stops right. It will be if you pass this right here, because
But it won't be fixed, it won't be covered under the ADA, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
this removal of all this will be. Those two pieces right there will be. So everything will be ADA compliant.
But the walls, to repair the walls
No.
after the rip out won't be
No,
covered?
no. And whenever all this is done, excuse me, all your county ADA projects will be complete and finished. It'll all be done. So we have a motion.
I'll make the motion to accept the bid from GNS Home Improvement.
Motion made by Commissioner Robert Cooper to accept the low bid from GNS Home Improvement. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Lester Gooden. Is there any more discussion? Roll call vote.
Mickey?
4.
Justin?
For it.
Ron?
For it.
Kim?
4.
Benny?
4.
Robert?
4.
Lester?
4.
Leon?
4.
Larry?
4.
Wade?
4.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against. Motion passes. Same thing again. Consideration of approval of the courthouse finishing project application and resolution 2020-16 to allow the county executive's office to apply for funds from the governor's support grant. Do I hear a motion to that effect?
So moved.
So moved by Commissioner Lester Gooden. Do I hear a second?
I second that.
Second by Commissioner Leon Stepp. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mickey?
4.
Justin?
For it.
Ron?
For it.
Kim?
4.
Benny?
4.
Robert?
4.
Lester?
4.
Leon?
4.
Larry?
4.
Wade?
4.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against, motion passes. Item number 13 is consideration of approval of resolution 2020-17, the library CARES grant application that come through some COVID funding for a $750 value.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Larry Cooper to approve this. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mickey McDonald. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mickey? 4. Justin?
For it.
Ron?
4.
Kim?
4.
Benny?
4.
Robert?
4.
Lester?
4.
Leon?
4.
Larry?
4.
Wade?
4.
10 for, none against.
Next item, number 14, consideration of resolution 2020-18 to approve local government insurance pool as the Fentress County Workers' Compensation provider. John Cook's not here. Tyler, you want to address this?
So a few years back, we had an increase on the pool before some law changes, and went away from the pool and went to Key Risk as our workers' compensation provider. Well, coming back in, we got a quote from the pool this year, and they are basically right there neck and neck with Key Risk. One thing, last year Key Risk actually had a $3,000 increase on us in the middle of the year. The pool doesn't do that. Well, they don't do those increases in the middle of the year. Whatever you have the first year is what it's going to be. Becky's worked pretty hard on studying and reclassifying employees so that we actually have a better idea on our rates and what we turn in. So if we approve this prevents us from bidding it. If we don't, we have to bid our Key Risk for next year, our workers' compensation.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve.
Motion by Commissioner Larry Cooper to approve. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Lester Gooding. Any more discussion?
I'll jump in there and say I had a pretty lengthy discussion with John Cook and Becky Brock, who you all have met at some point, who is essentially the head person for local government pool insurance, both workers' comp and our general liability. And she's never used the word impressed with Fentress County, if you all can imagine, that she did say they were quite impressed with the strides we had made in our workers' comp, with Becky doing the work that she had done, and that actually brought them back around to the table to want to bid on us. They seemed very, and you all have met with Becky, or some of you have met with Becky and know that she's been very generous to a small county who's poor, and we try our best, but I just wanted you all to know what she actually said to me about how things were looking up for us in the workers' comp side.
Any more discussion? Roll call vote, please, Marilyn.
Mickey? 4. Justin?
4.
Rod?
4.
Kim? 4. Benny?
4.
Robert?
4.
Lester?
4.
Leon?
4.
Larry?
4.
Wade?
4.
10-4, none against.
10 for, none against. Item number 14 passes. Number 15 is consideration of Resolution 2020-19 to approve local government insurance pool as the Fentress County Highway Department workers' compensation. Tyler, you want to address that also?
Same thing for the highway department's workers' compensation.
Need to add anything to that, Mr. Joy? Is everything okay? All righty. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion, approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Lester Gooden, second by Commissioner Rod. You was in on the
Yeah,
first one,
that'd
too.
be fine.
Second by Commissioner Rod Williams. Any more discussion?
No.
Roll call, please.
Mickey? 4. Justin?
4.
Rod?
4.
Kim? 4. Benny?
4.
Robert?
4.
Lester?
4.
Leon?
4.
Larry?
4.
Wade?
4.
10-4, none against.
Motion passes 10-4, none against. Item number 16, consideration of approval of the Fentress County Jail food bid proposals. Tyler, I don't believe the sheriff's here.
So what we typically do on this, I think, is we accept Cisco and IWC for the food to split and buy wherever's cheaper. We usually get a recommendation that the sheriff gets with the cafeteria personnel over there. Figures usage and calculates who we're going to take on our milk prices. I do know that we just bid the school, so the majority usage in the jail is cartons. And as you can see on that sheet there, cartons through Mayfield's 24 cents and cartons through Borden is 23.9 cents per carton. We just bid the schools, and we can piggyback the schools. The school's bid was 21.89 cents per carton, I believe. So the difference in those is this is a locked price for the year, and that is a fluctuating price that will go off the market monthly. So I know I'd had a couple calls about maybe piggybacking off the schools on that bid, and that is possible. There's no problem with that. That's a county bid as well. But that is the difference in these two. So the prices are laid out there for your gallons, half gallons on buttermilk. So the main one, I guess, that we need to focus on is the milk. And I guess if you guys want to go with just one on the food, but I think typically we approve Cisco and IWC. They buy from whoever's cheapest on whatever item they're purchasing, but the milk is the competitive one.
Is that how they've been doing it in the past?
So why won't we piggyback?
Off of both of them?
To me, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Off of both of them, IWC
On
and
the food, I think
on the food.
last year they just made the motion to accept IWC and Cisco
anybody work
as
for
the bid
Landfill?
for the low price. And then we moved to accept one or the other for the milk bid. And we can use
If they didn't
Mayfield
employ so much, they could
on
sell it cheaper, couldn't
that we got for the schools. We can piggyback off that bid at that 21.89 cents per carton, I think.
I think we should do
But
that.
it
Yeah, that
is
makes
a
good sense.
fluctuating bid. It's not a lock bid for the year, so just want to make sure everybody knows that it is a fluctuating bid, not a lock bid for the year. That can change monthly. Larry may have more insight on the milk market. I don't know much about the milk market and what that carton price is
cheap,
going to
eh, Larry?
fluctuate.
I'm not
Too cheap.
commenting.
Is there a
Now, the
cap?
other one's locked in?
Do what?
The
Is there
other
a
milk
cap
bid's
on it?
locked in?
These two milk bids right here are a locked-in price for the year.
Is there a cap on the fluctuating?
Which one's
Don't put those all market price changes.
So,
Mayfield's 23
so
and.
my understanding is on the cartons, there's a point
They're 23.
1% is all there is difference in that, but then when you get to your gallons, it's like 20 cents different.
Yep. Yeah, there's a gallon there. Borden's 20 cents higher than Mayfield on that one, and then your buttermilk, there's 25 cents or something difference on buttermilk if you figure by the gallon.
So,
What's the usage on buttermilk? Probably not enough to make up the
Not much, and I don't
difference in
think
that,
the
is
gallon usage is very significant either.
so what they need a motion for is
there? Except Mayfield.
to go with, like they've been doing, using both of those, is that correct? And then just one milk, right?
Yeah, I think probably two separate motions. Take a motion to use Cisco or IWC and IWC for the food, then do a separate motion and vote on which to use for milk or.
Okay, do I hear a motion on the groceries to start with?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Mickey McDonald, seconded by Commissioner Larry Cooper to use both Cisco and IWC like they've been doing in the past. Any more discussion? Roll call.
Mickey,
Forward.
Justin,
For it.
Rod,
For it.
Kim,
4.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
4.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Wade,
4.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against. Now do I hear a motion on the milk?
I make the motion to go with Mayfield.
Motion's been made to go with Mayfield,
Second.
second by Commissioner Mickey McDonald.
Discussion, is that
Discussion.
to piggyback with the school system or is it at this flat rate?
Well, and or.
The locked-in rate.
No, I have to have one or the other.
You can only do one.
It won't be in
So-
there.
We're not
Let's
piggybacking,
do
we're just gonna,
piggyback.
I mean, it's 20, what'd you say, 21 point?
Right now.
But it's not locked in.
But tomorrow it could go
Could-
up
it
to
could go to
30 cents a
25,
carton.
yeah.
Did they do this last year?
Piggyback?
No, did they use Mayfield and
No.
unlocked
No,
in?
they're-
This is the first time they went into a fluctuating milk
I think the
market.
school always does fluctuate milk bid on there.
So if they do and it's not that detrimental to them, to me, it's almost
I
worth.
think it'll be detrimental either way you go necessarily.
Because if we look at the volume of milk that goes to a school versus what we're doing at a jail, I mean, we're quite a bit less.
Well, you could see, if you use 6 months of the 9 months and it's cheap and it goes up a little bit the last 3 months, you're still
Still
going
gonna
to
be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I think so.
Well, I make the
A little
motion
bit.
to piggyback
With the
off.
markets
school.
now, I mean, you don't-
It could go lower.
it could go lower, yeah.
Yeah.
So the motion is,
Did Mickey make a motion?
Robert did.
Did the piggyback.
Robert
The
Cooper's
piggyback
motion is to go with Mayfield and
Piggyback.
piggyback off the school system, correct? At a fluctuating rate.
I'll second it.
I thought we already said.
Mickey's
it.
already
We
been
didn't
seconded.
say it. Well, you seconded it, still making a motion.
Yeah, you did, Mickey.
Who knows at this
Any
point?
more discussion?
I thought you were involved in there somewhere.
Roll call.
Mickey. 4. Justin.
For it.
Rod.
For it.
Kim.
4.
Benny.
4.
Robert.
4.
Lester.
4.
Leon.
4.
Larry.
Pass.
Wade.
4.
9-4-1 pass.
9-4-1 passing. Motion passes. Our next, number 17, is consideration of renewal of the UCHRA rental lease located at the Fentress County Senior Citizen Building. This is a 1-year, this here will be a 1-year lease beginning July 1, 2020 and ending June 30, 21. Instead of 2019, that'll be 2020.
Got a typo there.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Kim Davison to approve, and seconded by Commissioner Larry Cooper. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mickey. 4. Justin.
For it.
Rod.
For it.
Kim.
4.
Benny.
4.
Robert.
4.
Lester.
4.
Leon.
4.
Larry.
4.
Wade.
4.
10-4 against.
10-4, none against, motion passes. Item number 18 is consideration of approval of the surplus property request from the following departments: Veteran Service Office, Fentress County Courthouse, Fentress County Library, Fentress County Highway Department. You've seen what it is in your packets there. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
The motion has been made to approve by Commissioner Lester Gooding. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Robert Cooper. Any more discussion?
Will this be auctioned off, or what will we do with this? And nothing to do with the vote, but I just wondering.
It'll be, I think is this gonna go into your auction you're gonna have sometime, Joey, or is we just gonna take?
Someone.
The what? The 27th?
The truck in there that's with the highway department will be in on that 27th auction. The rest of the stuff, the county plan intended on having an auction this summer. There's been some kinks thrown in that, but through coronavirus, but hopefully we will have another auction coming up this next fiscal year, which will include a lot of surplus. We got a lot of computers where people are having to upgrade to the Windows 10 computers. We've got some furniture, so there's things that we're gonna have to get in an auction and sold. So
I think the sheriff's department has some stuff also, I believe, for the next auction.
yeah, and it takes them a little while to get their stuff processed to be able to sell. We can't just throw it in and sell and go. They've got to go through judges and all sorts of stuff to get theirs able to sell.
So the highway department will be in Joey's auction at 27th. Where's that gonna be at, Joy?
Fairgrounds.
It'll be at the fairgrounds, all Joy's equipment. Well, you'll have that listed in the paper sometime soon, I'm sure, what's gonna be in it. And then the first 3 will come in, we have one in the file along with the sheriff's.
I think the rocks will actually go on a sealed bid auction first. The one under the courthouse that's for sandstone rocks, that will actually, they need those out of the way before they can start the HVAC, so they'll actually auction that off.
How many rocks are there? Several.
There are
That's
several.
probably 75.
Did somebody donate those when the wall was being done and?
No, they were there, I think they were the old flower beds out front, so they were
Okay.
probably paid for with landscaping or something when they put the trees out front.
Any more discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mickey. 4. Justin.
For it.
Rod.
For it.
Kim.
4.
Benny.
4.
Robert.
4.
Lester.
4.
Leon.
4.
Larry.
4.
Wade.
4.
10-4 against.
Motion passes 10-4, none against. Item number 19, consideration of the following budget amendments. The school has 9 here. It's all in your packets. Anybody here to discuss these besides Tyler?
those Board of Ed budget amendments are 141, cleaning up their budget, covering over expenditures, moving money around to try to finish up, cover anything for year end.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Benny Hughes made the motion on the school amendments. Do I hear a second?
I second that.
Second by Commissioner Leon Stepp. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mickey. For. Justin.
For it.
Ron.
For it.
Kim.
Four.
Benny.
For.
Robert.
4.
Lester.
4.
Leon.
4.
Larry.
4.
Wade.
4.
10 for, none against.
I believe Robert may need to pass on this.
Yes.
There's his payroll line item, isn't it?
9 for, 1 pass.
Good try.
Carried away.
Number 2, senior center in the amount of $14.85 with fundraising. This is fundraising that they have, it comes through each month, so do I hear a motion on this?
So moved.
So moved by Commissioner Mickey McDonald. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Justin Miller. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mickey. For. Justin.
For it.
Rod.
For it.
Kim.
4.
Benny.
4.
Robert.
4.
Lester.
4.
Leon.
4.
Larry.
4.
Wade.
4.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against. Item number 3 of 19 is solid waste, the amount of $80,000 for the county landfill fees. Tyler, would you like to address that, please? Jason couldn't be here tonight.
Of course, without a recycling center, we've been hauling a lot more trash, but this number is up on what we pay per tonnage to haul off to the landfill, and this is to cover their overage for the rest of the year.
We have had, all counties have had a considerable amount more of garbage taken to the landfills in the last 3 months. I've talked to all the surrounding counties, and they're all up quite a bit because we've got more people staying home, so there's more garbage. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Justin Miller made the motion. Do I hear a second? Second. Second by Commissioner Larry Cook. Any more discussion?
Somebody said something the other day about some commercial people bringing stuff in to our dumpsters from other counties. Is there a way that we could put a fee on that?
It'll be up to the discretion of the commission to do so.
I agree. I've heard that same discussion being made, that we have people that are doing that. And if y'all, that's costing people in this county money to have to pay off for commercial trash, and I think we need to look at that. And they need to monitor that some way to restrict it, because that's not.
By dump trailer loads.
So
Yeah.
We had 2, I know there were 2 that went to Scott County the other day, that the 2 loads were so heavy that they couldn't even be weighed on our scales. And it was all from one construction company, Construction Waste.
Okay. What I'll do, I will appoint Commissioner Mickey McDonald, Commissioner Lester Gooden, and Commissioner Kim Davison to look into this as a committee and bring back to the Board of Commission and go from there.
So can we meet with Jason? I mean, I feel like
Yes,
we
ma'am.
need to, because I don't know, there's no way that Mickey, Lester, and I can monitor what's coming in. But if we could have a meeting with him to discuss that and see what they can do to counteract that, maybe offset some of
Just
that.
give you some recommendations of
Yeah.
how they can.
Right, I mean, because that's the best. I mean, it's gonna be hard for us to tell him what to do, but we know, the problem's been brought to our attention. We just need to figure out a way to try to solve it, make it a little better.
And are you talking about just something from out of the county? Or are you talking about inside the county, or just all debris such as shingles, concrete blocks, and that type of stuff, construction material?
And I think it's even
Construction material.
even projects outside the county where they may live here, but they're bringing the waste from outside the county back here because the county where it's being done won't allow it. So
They have to
again,
pay in other counties.
yeah, they have to pay, and
$45
so-
to $50 a ton.
Do you want us to try to find out some fees of the surrounding counties for you?
County's 45 a ton
I'll find out.
Ton?
I'll find out.
for construction waste.
I'll find out, and then
But I think that should be, I think that all commercial
Construction waste.
construction, people should pay, because
I'll put out the feelers, then whenever y'all get ready to have a meeting, we'll just contact Jason and let me know, and we'll get, or y'all, or I'll have Jason get in touch with y'all. Y'all can decide when meeting you want to have, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Sounds
Question
good.
on the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mickey,
For
Justin,
For.
Rod,
For.
Kim,
4.
Benny,
For.
Robert,
For.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Wade,
4.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against. Solid waste in the amount of $8,000 for payroll.
This is to cover overage in a payroll line. The gentleman that's paid out of this line's actually moved and being paid out of another line now. He moved to this line mid-year, and now he's already switched roles, being paid out of another line. This will just cover what that would be over for the year.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Benny Hughes made the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second that.
Second by Commissioner Leon Stepp. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mickey, for, Justin,
For.
Rod,
For.
Kim,
4.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
For.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Wade,
4.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against. Motion passes. The next one is Highway Department in the amount of $24,091. Joy or Tyler, either one. Joy?
just cleaning up your end.
Just moving funds from one line item to another.
Just to clear everything up for the year.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Larry Cooper, second by Commissioner Mickey McDonald. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mickey,
For.
Justin,
For.
Rod,
For.
Kim,
4.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
For.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Wade,
4.
10 for, none against.
Thank you, Mr. Joy.
Thank you.
Sheriff's Department in the amount of $14,400 state training reimbursement.
Make a
Motion to
motion to
accept this
accept.
reimbursement.
Make a motion to accept.
Motion to accept by Commissioner Lester Gooden. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Robert Cooper. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mickey, for, Justin,
For.
Robert,
For.
Benny,
4.
Rod,
4.
Kim,
4.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Wade,
4.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against. The next one is the jail in the amount of $22,130.44 reimbursement for overpaid hospital claims. For a few months there, we were on 100%, and we called and asked to, that you know of, to get the jail rate down to that, hopefully of a discount. We did that. We got it at Crossville, Cumberland County, and also Courthouse Regional Hospital. And we called back and asked if they could see any way to go back before our contract was. And Courthouse Regional went back and found this money, and they reimbursed us that amount.
So
Make a
that,
motion to accept.
Motion by Lester Gooding to accept the reimbursement on claims. Here a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Benny Hughes.
on that, that's not office supplies it's going into. The code is right 340, but the description is medical and dental is what that money will go into.
Is that line gonna be over?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just curious if the line wasn't gonna be over, it should have just went in fund balance instead of back into their budget, but since it's gonna be over.
That whole budget will be over. We'll come back at the meeting on the 29th to clean those budgets up. We're waiting on the last payroll to go through, but the whole jail budget, sheriff's budget actually might have enough left over to cover what the jail will be short this year. But it's primarily medical and dental. It'll be over still. After this goes in, I think it'll still be over $40,000 or $50,000.
It ever been, we don't never, never.
Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mickey? Four. Justin?
Four.
Rod?
Four.
Kim?
Four.
Benny?
Four.
Robert?
Four.
Lester?
Four.
Leon?
Four.
Larry?
Four.
Wade?
Four.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against.
See my two.
Fire department in the amount of $31,040 volunteer firefighter grant reimbursement. Larry, would you like to say anything to that, please?
Tyler and I and the guy from Upper Cumberland Development District, I can't think of his name right off. The state came up with a new grant this year that was 100% no match. We applied, got awarded. We've gotten a letter back that said it's a done deal, that we need, this money's coming in. We've technically done spent that money, and we've ordered the product, more turnout gear, some things that we were trying to do on through the COVID, or not COVID money, but the money from the state that we've taken off, so no cost to the county taxpayers.
Do I hear a motion?
So move.
Lester Gooden makes the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Wade Matthews made the second. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mickey? Four. Justin?
Four.
Rod?
Four.
Kim?
Four.
Benny?
Four.
Robert?
Four.
Lester?
Four.
Leon?
Four.
Larry?
Pass.
He passed.
Yes. He passed.
Wade?
Four.
9 for, 1 pass.
9 for, 1 passing. Ambulance in the amount of $71,285. Grant reimbursement from USDA for ambulance purchase.
So this is where we had already budgeted him to purchase an ambulance the first of the year. Throughout the year, he got a letter saying he needed to upgrade his heart monitors. They were going out. He was getting this grant in. We told him some meetings back, I believe when we first started budget meetings, that we would put this grant money back in to help pay for those heart monitors. He got them at a demo price, so he got a significant amount off the pricing of those heart monitors versus buying new. And actually, through some stimulus money, he was able to go ahead and upgrade the rest of his heart monitors, some federal stimulus money that nobody really knew that was coming down. So the way that grant works, I've included the letter in there. They awarded us a certain amount. They will pay, we have to pay $67,500 towards that ambulance. USDA will reimburse us anything else up to the amount of $82,500. So that ambulance is ordered. The money's encumbered for it, and this is to go in there to help to clean up his budget. It'll still be probably a little shy once we do put this in there, but so the total cost of that ambulance is $138,785. That's a new ambulance in. The only thing that doesn't include is the radio to go in it. County portion $67,500, and then this is USDA portion that will come in to go into the budget.
Do I hear a motion?
So move.
Motion made by Commissioner Lester Gooding. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Second by Commissioner Leon Stepp. Any more discussion? Roll call, please, Marilyn.
Mickey? Four. Justin?
Four.
Rod?
Four. Four.
Kim?
Four.
Benny?
Four.
Robert?
Four.
Lester?
Four.
Leon?
Four.
Larry?
4.
Wade?
Four.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against. Next one is in the general fund, 101, COVID-19 stipend, $39,000. And we'd like to say during all this, we laid absolutely no one off during the last 3 months. They were always at work or available for work. So, but we laid absolutely no one off. So this is a stipend that we are given to all the employees. Is that correct?
Yeah, this was voted on the budget committee meeting. This is the budget committee to put the money into the budget to pay out.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
Justin Miller made the motion, seconded by, who seconded it? Lester? Lester Gooden. Commissioner Lester Gooden seconded the motion. Do I hear any more discussion? Roll call vote.
Mickey,
For.
Justin,
For it.
Rod,
For it. For it.
Kim,
Four.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
4.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Wade,
4.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against. Motion passes. On the nutrition fund, 128, COVID-19 stipend for their workers there, $900. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Kim Davison. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lester Gooding. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Mickey,
For.
Justin,
For it.
Rod,
For it.
Kim,
Four.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
4.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Wade,
4.
10 for, none against.
And the last one. Solid Waste Fund, 116, COVID-19 stipend, $9,000. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Mickey McDonald. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Robert Cooper. Any more discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mickey,
For.
Justin,
For it.
Rod,
For it.
Kim,
Four.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
4.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Wade,
4.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against. I'd like to say that there will be a joint meeting with 911, and it will be on July the 2nd. That'll be a joint meeting with 911 board and all the commissioners. Need y'all to be there. It'll be at the 911 building. Budget committee is at 5:30 p.m. this Thursday. We're getting down to the last parts of it, so we need everyone to be there on Thursday at 5:30 in the ECD room.
Time's the 911.
911 meeting on the July 2nd is at 5 p.m.
We're at 911.
911 building. This Friday night meeting is at 5:30 p.m. I believe it's in the paper on the radio. Any other business? Move to it, Jared.
I got a
Just a second.
quick question for you guys. We've got a couple people that had significantly high comp time. Now, one thing to consider, our personnel policy says that it's to be paid out once it reaches over 80 hours. You're not supposed to carry over year to year over 80 hours for your clerical staff. So what happens is we carry that comp time over, it's going to be paid out at a rate higher than what their raise is in the future, or potentially. I didn't bring a budget amendment for this. This was, they called me this evening to have me to talk to you guys about it, but the only way to avoid paying that out at a higher rate is to get it on this agenda to put the money in to pay for it. How do you guys want to handle that comp time overages? I mean, they're 350 some hours.
Where's the comp time at?
Senior citizen center.
How are we having comp time?
Who's where?
The senior centers. How are we accruing comp time up there?
It's been accrued over the year. They'll come in sometimes 7:30 in them load trucks.
Could we not schedule the trucks to be there at the time that they're supposed to be, when they're open?
Or take off early. If you come in early, go home early. Would that not?
Sometimes they can, sometimes they can't sometimes.
Well, they've been having to do a lot more over there during this food stuff, haven't they not? I mean,
The majority of that time has been accrued in the last year.
the last year.
In the last year.
I believe it's about, I printed the pages off and put them on Jimmy's desk down there before the meeting. I think it's 357 hours for one, 150 something hours for the other.
In a year, 357?
Excuse me, one employee got 357 hours?
Yeah. And our personnel policy does say that will be, that you'll only carry over 80 hours.
Will they count it out?
So anything over would be paid out. But now that's with approval by the commission. Of course, the money's not in the payroll line to pay that out.
Well, we need to do the right thing with this, whatever that may be, but it sounds to me like they need a little more documentation. That's a lot of,
If comp time's earned, we can't take it away. If that time sheet's signed off on by the supervisor, I mean, that's what we put in our records. If our supervisor, if Micah signs off on his time sheets, I don't question Micah about his time sheets or who's clocking in, clocking out.
We can think on it at the next meeting, because you're gonna have a recess meeting, and we'll recess this, and it'll come up June the 29th for all the cleanup.
The payroll goes out before then.
Yep, payroll goes out the 26th.
No policy.
And if you pass it at that one, then it'll be paid at a higher rate the next fiscal year on our next paycheck.
we're kind of locked into that, aren't we?
I don't know what we can do.
New policy?
I mean, I don't have a budget prepared to bring to you. That was,
So pay out
I had some
everything
notes
over
to talk about at
80
the last budget meeting. and we
and make
didn't
them
get
take
to
it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you have to do.
Yeah.
Well, if that's per policy, would you have to have a budget amendment if you
Yeah, 'cause
pay that
there's
out?
no money in the
There's
payroll.
no
No.
money in that pay.
So we can't.
They're just like if somebody doesn't get reelected and half their employees comes up and says, we won't pay it out, it's basically the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're talking 2 employees. That should be easily handled for 2 employees, not 25 employees on comp time.
That's 500 hours of comp time.
For 2 employees.
In 1 year.
I think it'd be roughly $5,500 that payout. That's rough estimate. I know one of them alone is gonna be over $4,000.
You just have to pay out over 80, right? Anything over 80?
Yeah, it'd be over 4,000, paying that down to 80.
Well, I think
That's
we,
rough estimates, guys. I don't have those numbers right in front of me.
I think we need to figure out what's going on, why we're accruing that much. Is it a scheduling thing, or is there something we can do? Because that's a substantial amount of hours
Something we
to
can do.
come up, and so I don't know if that, we need to look at that, I think.
I was about to suggest every county commissioner here probably needs to call down there and talk to them and see what's,
Should have been at the meeting tonight.
I mean,
I can find out tomorrow.
you're gonna have to, to make an informed decision, you need to know.
Well, if it's a policy though, it has to be done.
Well, I know that, I understand that.
Hey, yeah, right, we can't do anything with
No.
what's there now, but we need to figure out going forward what we can do to help, try to
She
keep
doesn't
that
have
from.
anything in her
we
budget,
debated
left in her budget to cover that?
Hours over 20 cents.
Not much, not enough to cover that.
Not enough to cover it.
And don't come under nutrition either.
No, we can't.
I mean,
That's a
if they
separate
want
budget.
to-
That's a separate fund.
There must be some reason they can adjust that or some reason.
So it's not comp time, nutrition comp time then, it's just,
No, it's,
Well, if they're unloading trucks,
Yeah,
but
it
they're
should be.
feeding, that's,
Yeah.
that should be
They're paid out of
nutrition.
general fund, 101 general fund, so that's where their pay would come from. Of course, now the nutrition fund is contracted 3 part-time personnel. The general fund, senior center, has 2 full-time, 2 part-time.
So they have 3 employees, the nutrition,
Nutrition has 3 part-times, a cook and 2 drivers.
so they're not unloading the trucks. We're saying the citizen center employees are doing the trucks.
Director and assistant director.
And they're only, by their contracts, like their contractors work so many hours per day, like one's 4.5 and 2 of them's 4.
Salary?
Didn't think directors got comp time.
So the employees that's getting the comp time is which ones?
the director and assistant.
The director.
Director and
I
assistant.
didn't think the directors could accrue comp time.
She's not salary. She's
She's not
actually
salary. She's
just
out.
shy of making enough to be put on salary
But
exceed.
Marcia didn't get paid out her comp time.
It doesn't, I mean, if you put her on now, she's accrued that comp time, you can't take it away from her. It's
Right,
still
where
gotta
we're
be
at,
paid.
right. We're kind of where we are on that comp time, but going forward, we need to sit down and figure out what we can do to help.
I mean, there's some other comp time problems across the county. I don't know of any that large. Sheriff's Department has some, but they're allowed to carry more. So state regulation.
Emergency, yeah.
State regulation, now this is state law. I believe, maybe federal. It's federal. Clerical can only carry 240 hours over of comp time. Emergency personnel can only carry over 480. So I don't think we have any emergency. Of course, ambulance doesn't accrue comp time, they're paid overtime. The Sheriff's Department does have significant comp time to some of their employees, but I don't think they reach that 480 mark. I think these are really the only two that are right there where something kind of needs to be done about it.
Well, if you unload trucks, one week you might get caught not knowing when they were scheduled to come in or something could happen, but this must be happening every week. Or has been happening every week from ever.
That's 10 hours a week.
What all they've had to do today.
I'm sure.
Because, I mean, they don't just sit back here in the office during the day. I mean, I've been there. I know, I used to go there every single
We're
day.
gonna have to do a budget amendment to change it.
Right.
And it's gonna have to be done now,
I don't know those exact numbers.
before
I mean,
the next payroll, to close out the year.
I printed the page off to lay to give to Jimmy to report on that. But the last payroll will process next week, 26th. We won't meet again until the 29th to talk about, hopefully pass a budget, discuss budget cleanup stuff. But that's one I know for sure needs to be addressed, and I don't think she has it in her budget to cover that amount. I think that it'll have to hit fund balance.
Any of that for him to pay that?
It's up to y'all, what you gonna do? Pay part of it, or wait till the next pay, till July?
We need to pay it before the.
Well, we just.
Well, but it could be paid out at the old rate and paid in July.
Paid out now, it's paid at a lower rate. If we pay it in July, she gets the raise July 1.
Yeah.
But this comp time could be paid out at this rate, correct?
Just do it.
If we do it before she gets her raise. Because what we've always done is paid out at current rate.
Would it not come under what was accumulated in the former year?
That was the current.
No, I mean, somebody may have accumulated for 4 years worth of time, and whenever they quit, they paid out whatever they're making.
How'd you know that you brought?
We couldn't back up and pay maybe last year.
We don't know.
There's no alternative.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we pay Kitcher, get them down to their minimum on their hours. Was it 80?
80 hours, yeah.
Where do you recommend it paid out of?
We'll have fund balance it. That's it.
Take what you can out of her budget and the rest out of fund balance.
If there's any, if there's anything left, Tyler, in there?
That'll be a little bit. Yeah, probably not enough to pay it all.
Well, it's to the county's advantage to pay it now rather than wait till the raise goes into effect, so.
But you could still pay it.
Yeah, I
at
mean,
this
as of
rate.
right now, we're looking
We
at
could still pay it at this
4%
rate anytime
raise, so she
next
gets
year.
4% raise, she's paid out of it. That's 4% more.
When did we find out this?
Matter of comp time?
Yeah.
So it's been an ongoing discussion for a little while, and I did have notes at the last budget committee meeting to talk to you guys about it, but we didn't make it there. Or the meeting before last, that's whenever we got pretty drawn out talking about pay stuff.
So we're spending this month.
But we gotta make a decision tonight.
I mean, you guys.
Well, you've got to pay it, it's
Yeah.
policy,
I
you
mean,
have to.
Well, it's the county, it's to our advantage to make a decision tonight, pay for it, because
Well, you could still pay it out at the rate that she's on right now if you paid it out next October or something.
Did anybody second that motion, Benny's motion?
Yeah, motion's on the table.
I'll second the motion.
Motion been made by Commissioner Benny Hughes, seconded by Commissioner Lester Gooden. Any more discussion?
What was the motion again? I kind of got lost there.
Just to pay it, and pay the hours down to 80 to the minimum.
And to take it out
And
of...
take it until it zeroes her budget line item there. And then the rest of it come out of fund balance. Question?
Roll call vote.
Mickey? For.
Justin,
For it.
Ron,
Against.
Kim,
Four.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
4.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
Against.
Wade,
Against.
7-4-3 against.
7-4-3 again.
It's policy.
Oh, yeah.
So these comp times aren't kept up with their accrued liability. So that is a liability to the county whenever people are accruing comp time. Any leave is considered a liability. I mean, if you think the whole sheriff's department left right now, that's a huge chunk we're gonna be facing. So, and I fill that report out every year for the comptroller's office. I think that maybe a little more attention should be paid towards comp time and that liability.
I mean, again, my vote for that was to resolve the problem that we've got. But I think going forward, we're gonna have to figure out a way to avoid that from happening.
Because if it's policy, we can't not do it.
I mean, right, there was no way we could get out of it. It's policy, but I think we need to figure out how we can keep this from happening. In emergency services, I understand that's uncontrollable. A lot of times that's out of our hands, but in regular day-to-day operations, I feel like we hopefully can come up with some policies to keep us from getting there. Look at some scheduling, because that's substantial.
Motion to adjourn. Mr. Chairman.
Recess.
I think, have you already got a meeting scheduled, or is it, we need to recess?
We need to recess for 29th.
That's right.
Motion to recess, Mr.
Second.
Chairman.
Motion to recess until June the 29th to clean up the rest of the budget. Motion by Commissioner Benny Hughes, seconded by Commissioner Larry Cooper. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank y'all. See y'all Thursday night.
For more than a century, Union Bank has been serving the people of Fentress County. Now, as we begin a new chapter in our history of service, we want to take this opportunity to reassure you that while our building may be new, we're still the same friendly people you have known for years. Union Bank, the same people, the same goals, and the same commitment to you. Union Bank, your locally owned hometown bank for more than a century, growing to meet your needs. Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.